Okay, back at Geno's air cooled in competition. Anyhow, I heard a guy on the internet talking about heads and valve springs, and it sort of got me a little bit. And lifters. These are Norris lifters. These are scat lifters. And I don't use no luber lifters. I don't like them. I just don't care for them. They go away. Either one's good as far as I'm concerned. And you sure don't want to use these push rods with double springs. Yes, they're lighter, and the luber lifters are lighter. But the problem with the luber lifters is that I've seen, I had 3 friends now, and the one on last weekend, or the weekend before that, we tore down his motor, and the camshaft went away, and so did the lifters. And they were scat lifters and a scat cam, and he broke it in the right way. Well, I use their lifters, and I use sometimes their cam, but most of the time I use Norris cam or Norris lifters, either one, whichever, because I don't use no luber lifters because I've seen so much problem with them. And on anything that you use double springs or going to be using high reb, this is Chevy springs. These are scat heads. Nice set of heads, one of their best heads, other than their heads that have the separate heads that you put on. They're more expensive heads, which for my application I don't need. These are JC push rods, and they are one of the best, high stress chromoly. And when you go to these Chevy springs, you have to use these type of bolt-on valve covers, which I don't like because these screws come loose. But I drilled holes in these screws, so once I tighten them, I'm going to wire them so they don't back off. That's the thing. And as you can see here, they're nicely ported. I'm going to have to do some work up here yet. And the heads are nice. You can see the nice port job on them, and also the nice head work here. I have 42 cc's on them, and 37 by 40 valves, 42s, 44s, and it's a nice head. So I never run these, so I'll see how they work out, and I'll get back with you on a report on the heads. But that's the story on the lifters. Don't believe all this crap that you hear about push rods. If you're going to use racing heads, if you want to use single springs, yeah, you can use these flimsy ass push rods, and they'll probably work. But I use chromoly because I want it to last, and I use good springs and retainers. I usually use titanium, but I don't think you can get titanium for this. I'll have to check with Scat, because if I can, I'm going to get them. But we'll see. But I'm telling you, don't use those luber lifters. They're not worth it. They cause more grief than Carter's got pills. I would never use them. I had a pair of bug pack lifters. I put them in, and they went away on the breakup. And yeah, I kept it at 2,000 RPMs for 20 minutes. Bang, they went away. That was a long time ago. So I never used them afterwards. And like someone says, I see some of the holes in here that are a little bigger than the others. Doesn't make a damn bit of difference. The push rod fits in there just the same in the little hole as it does in the big, and it doesn't move at all. It fits fine. So don't worry about that. Some of this stuff you hear on the internet, you got to take with a grain of salt. I've been doing this since 1968, off and on. Was in business up to 84, got out of it, got back in it in 2005, and I still did it in the evenings off and on. I had another job because you couldn't make a living at it around the East Coast here like they do in California. But this has all been experience that I've done all this stuff, and I've had some of the best help around and some good friends. So what I'm telling you isn't a crock of crap, it's down to earth experience. You do whatever you want to do. That's what I always say. We'll be back for more later from Geno's Transaxle Performance. Saying it as it is. Some people like it, some don't.